and Yep,
There we go.
I'm so sorry.
There we are.
Yes. There's there's multiple mouses and keyboards now, and I'm getting used to all of them. And it's gonna take me a few streams before I get it. But thanks everyone for tuning in. I'm glad I'm getting it under control. We got a great episode for you tonight. Dayton's gonna be joining us all very shortly, and I can't wait for that. Thank you all for joining us, Marina, Alex, Mark. It is so great to see your faces, and it's gonna be an exciting one.
Yeah. Yeah, I think after last session was a bit of a sort of our recap session where we got caught back up. All the characters sort of found, oh, he
There
got a
he
haircut.
is.
He's
Oh my
looking
gosh,
dapper. He's looking dapper.
dashing. If you weren't a married man, I'd ask for your number, Dayton.
Right? I might yet. I know
Yeah.
his wife.
It looks really good.
Well, we got
All right.
yeah, we got a great stream for you. Like Mark was saying, last stream was a bit of a coming back together after a lot happened, and I'm super excited to see where this goes. I have a bunch of notes I was taking to get ready for this episode too, because I think Valen's going to be in the hot seat a wee bit. So, yeah, go ahead, Mark. Why don't you go ahead and introduce us and get us going?
Yeah, we got a lot of recap to get through, so let's burn through it. So, thank you for everyone who's here. Thank you for everyone who shows up. This is our D&D stream, our Light of Xaryxian, though it's really not fair to call it that much anymore, considering it's well and above out of that jurisdiction. I've made many considerable changes using Spelljammer Academy, and Light of Xaryxian as a seed, as sort of a growing point to build something much bigger, to encompass the incredible characters that my wonderful players have made. So, speaking of those players, we have with us playing Nico.
Greetings all, I am Alex playing your lovable, bendable, plasmoid artificer, Nico.
We also have playing Tin Man.
Hello, folks. Dayton here, playing Tin Man. A little late joining the party. Always fashionable, what can I say? And I think it's going to be a good session today.
Yeah.
And of course, we have playing Jade.
Hey everyone, this is Marina, playing the Jade Fox, your druid assassin. I've always got something cooked up. We'll see what we get into today.
Yeah.
And of course, playing Valen, and with our announcements.
How you guys doing? My name is Matt Roberts. I'm playing Valen Yosai, and you probably see me on our other streams if you tune in. I play the Astral elf with a storied past, and all those stories are finally starting to catch up, it seems to me, and I got a lot of explaining to do tonight. So, I don't have too much news. Like I said, we just made an update to the stream capabilities here. You'll start seeing a lot more higher quality streams down the line here. Hopefully we can get them going. Big shout out to all our partners. Mythical Meats for keeping our bellies full. Eldritch Foundry for helping us make all our minis. And a big shout out to Adam's Family Gaming for all of the sweet merch that they've been supplying with us. We don't have it on tonight because we're in character, but you'll see on plenty of other streams. Big shout out to them. You can check all our ads for the coupon codes. And I really don't want to take too much more time because I know there's a lot to get in tonight. So, Mark, take us to Imagination Land.
All right. So with introductions aside, we've got everybody caught up to what we're doing tonight. So without further ado, previously on Echo of the Astral Sea. As the party gets together for dinner, Nico and Garrett have an exchange and speak about their shared love of building. Nico expresses some frustration that he's not where he wants to be, i.e. the junk shop, while Garrett attempts to lighten the mood by showing Nico the wonder of the Elatern and the more nuanced work a builder can partake in. As Nico's moving away for dinner, Garrett brings up Valen's fishing rod. The line glide Ruby roller, and comments that it might be possible for them to recreate, which draws Nico into further and more technical conversation. Jade has her attention teased by Ephemera, who comments on Jade's quietude. Jade plays defensive and brushes the questions off, insisting that she's always some form of agitated. Eventually, Jade concedes that there are too many variables, too much happening to maintain proper control, that anyone she could be vulnerable with is disappearing. Ephemera acknowledges Jade's pain and offers a suggestion. In this moment of vulnerability, trust. Finding the most impactful crux of trust she can with Ephemera, Jade drops the medication meant to dampen Ephemera's hold on Jade's vessel. In return for this trust, Ephemera offers Jade's assurance in the form of an apple, promising that when Jade eats said apple, she'll sleep and awake with nothing, and nothing will have changed. She and the world around her will persist untouched in her unconscious absence. The party begins taking their places in the mess hall. Jade, Valen, Tin Man, Nico, Boswell, Griswold, and Garrett all find a place to sit in the cramped mess. Landor hands out dinners for everyone, his meals kept in consideration to the particular tastes of the crew, with only Jade having been something of an enigma to him, instead offering her a more general fare and noting what her predilection from what the presented options was. With a mouthful, Valen rips off the band-aid and does a fair job at breaching the subject, even-handed. Nico drops a proverbial bomb and asks Valen outright, "Why did you destroy my home?" Valen pivots by explaining some of his history to add context to some of what happened, at least in regards to his own personal presence and lack of influence over the actual events that happened on Brawl. He explains that he's no longer considered Xaryxians by the Xaryxians themselves, and mentions the Mirror Fold ceremony, which seemed to play a key ritual place in his ostracization from the Xaryxian culture. He expands somewhat and goes over a brief history of his life to illustrate how he fell out of favor. Valen was a notable individual in the Xaryxian Navy, retired from a promising position, and took to racing at the Gale Force Grand Prix, which he states he won twice, after which he met his wife. Valen admits that he pulled some strings and bent some rules by Xaryxian customs to even become a racer. In an almost conspiratorial twist, Valen states that he thinks that the accolades, wealth, and adoration was piled on so that he could be made an example of. Give you enough rope to hang yourself with, as Tin Man eloquently observed. Tin Man picks up the reins of the conversation and returns to the events of Brawl. He talks about how he's noticed a lot of things moving in the background, funds and people moving in large quantities, causing Tin Man to think twice about what's actually happening. As he looked, he found Realm Space and the Academy. He brings this up to inform Nico and Jade about Mert and the Academy itself, how they arrived at the Rock of Brawl in the first place, and how they had been similarly targeted. Tin Man posits that Prince Andrew may have been set up, that as the Xaryxians weren't even part of Merger Day, and there was something going on with Andrew's speech. Nico comments on how Canadex and Bladar seem to have some insight as to the situation and has been guiding them, pushing them in particular directions. Valen, having had a moment to think while the others spoke, comments about how the party had seen his wife, Lyra. But she wasn't how he remembered her, that something was done to make her into that. He briefly comments about the last time he'd seen her and his son, some accident at a carnival where he lost them. The Astral Elf surmises that his downfall is that of an orchestrated example. A cautionary tale to tell young Astral Elves that have the impulse to step out of line. The story of a man who lost everything because he flew too high. No one shares the sky with Xaryxian. The party begins to consider the depth of their situation. Tin Man points out that Orvis, Canadex, and Bladar seem to have some connection to these events, and that the knowledge Canadex and Bladar have could be problematic to certain people. Nico pauses a moment to explain to Tin Man what happened to Orvis, how strange folk